going live. And we are live. Greetings, humans. Greetings. And welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here. Let's see, 27, 28, 29-year, believe it or not, a veteran of the woods. Some people do not believe that. I don't know where they get that idea from. 29 years, right here in the woods. Well, great to be back here. Been a little bit here. Bear has been a little hibernation out there. Was a little sick for a while. Man, oh man, you would not want to hear poor Bear all stuck up in the nose or at other places out there. So great to have everyone here. Hope you did well out there. Want to thank everybody out there, especially checking out some of the videos. We got some new videos up. I got a box open from Mike. Let's see, where was that? The Monster Hunt. We got Monster Hunt in. We got a Titan, the colored Titan, Titan number 2 in. Bear got a minor computer, not a big deal, yada, yada, yada. A number of other things as well. So, do appreciate that. We're actually going to be doing a, kind of an outdoor time-lapse, sunset video tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. We will see. YouTube has been kind of messing up with the HDR here. Bear spends a lot of time trying to get it right. And puts it up there. YouTube says, "Oh, we've got it. It's ready to go." And then you go and you hit the go publish thing, and then all of a sudden it just kind of disappears. Like, where did it go? Like it was looking pretty a minute ago, and all of a sudden YouTube just changes its mind. I tell you, people, it must have been the little video that Bear put out a little while back there. It was talking about what was that, Project Veritas and some of the other stuff out there. So there you go. You never know with some of the shenanigans out there from old YouTube out there. So, anyways, I want to thank everybody out there. Let's go ahead. Enough of this jibber jabbering and Bear just talking along. Let's go ahead and get right on into it, because actually Bear forgot this. Can't believe Bear forgot this the last time. He will not forget it this time, though, people, because we actually have. It's February. It's the February month of, people. And that can only mean one thing. And that would be the Awareness Month. Yes, indeed. This is a different... Let me get this up here. This is a different one from what Bear's been using. Who is this? This is, Good. Good. Good.co. They're missing an M in there, I think. Somewhere in there. Anyways, February Awareness Month and Holidays. Yes, indeed. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. Of course, it's Black History Month out there, people. But you might not know that it is Humpback Whale Awareness Month. Bear is aware. I don't know about the rest of you people out there, but you should be. National Cancer Prevention. Shouldn't National Cancer Prevention be every month? Bear thinks it should. Along with American Heart Month. Why is that American and National? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Make sure you check out your heart, people. National Cancer... I already read that. Jewish Disability Awareness. And why are the Jewish people... they get their own special thing there. I don't know what the deal is with that. It should be everyone. Everyone's Disability Awareness Month. And inclusion out there. Yes, indeed. Low Vision Awareness Month, people... Be aware. Who said that? I don't know. Somebody out there. It is National Bird Feeding Month, people. Make sure you feed your birds out there. It is a Pet Dental Health Month. It is? Okay. Well, there you go. It is Dog Training Education Month. I don't know if the dog training... Is the dog getting an education or a training? Or are you educating the trainers? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just be aware of it, people. Might go against National Bird Feeding Month. It would be National Cat Health Month. National Cat Month out there. And of course, the Adopt a Rescued Rabbit? What? A Rescued Rabbit. I don't know. There seems to be a lot of Pet Awareness Month here, people. Not enough Bear Awareness Month. Maybe that might be in March. Hopefully that will be in March out there. Yes, indeed. Good to see P-Money out here. Only American Heart Month. What about Canadian Hearts? Do Do they even have hearts out there? Do they? Do they? I don't know. It was a good, by the way, Peabody, it was a very nice all-star game today. Beer got to check out old Kucherov there, scoring some goals. White Cane Week, I guess? On Black History Month, how dare you, sir? How dare you, sir? Tinnitus Awareness Month, huh? Huh? Who said that? National School Counseling Week. It is Congenital Heart Defects Awareness Week? Just for the week, though. Homes for Birds Week. Gotta get them fed first. Aromatic Spectrum Awareness Week. That smells kind of fishy to beer. National Nestbach Week. I have no idea what that is. National Justice for... we need... There's no justice, no peace for animals out here. Yes, indeed. Let's see, how many more? Bird Health Awareness Week. Might go against the Cat Health Awareness Week, or month. National Invasive Species Awareness Week. Yes, indeed. Bear would consider humans to be an invasive species sometimes, here in the woods. And finally, it's National Eating Disorder Awareness Week. That would be the last week of February or the first week of March. Whatever, who cares? If you get confused, just grab you something to eat. It'll be alright. It will be just fine out there, people. Yes, indeed. P-Money says, we have hearts, they just freeze in February. That is probably true. That is probably true. A very cold heart out there. Very, very cold-hearted out there. Speaking of which, speaking of cold hearts out there, unfortunately, from our good folks out here at the New York Post, a high school basketball coach has been fired. Fired, people. What a cold heart out there. A high school basketball coach fired after impersonating a 13-year-old in a JV game out there. So there she is. 55 needs to check out the eating awareness week there, looks like. A high school basketball coach in Virginia has been fired after impersonating a 13-year-old player in a game. That would be Alicia Boykins, a 22-year-old assistant coach on the Churchland Junior Varsity girls basketball team in Portsmouth, suited up for the Truckers while a teenage student athlete was out of town at a club basketball tournament. Video footage from the January 21st game, which took place in Suffolk against Naismith River, Boykins can be seen wearing a black number 1 for Churchland while playing in the contest. Boykins, who was going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls, recorded a block and drove to the basket for a layup, and highlights obtained by Wavy. She was also seen interacting with the team, shooting free throws at one point, and dove into the stands for a loose ball. I tell you what, somebody better get her a contract out there. In addition to Boykins, the Truckers junior varsity head coach and the head coach of the varsity team were fired, with sources telling the outlet that the varsity coach was encouraging the behavior during the game. How dare she? How dare she? It's one of those things where it's like, you betcha if you're a 22-year-old going up against 12-year-olds, you hope your team wins. It would be kind of bad if you're going out there and you get beat by a bunch of 12-year-old girls out there. That would be kind of embarrassing out there. Kind of embarrassing indeed. There she is. Caught in the act. Caught in the act. Yes, indeed. They probably asked her, hey, what's your favorite TikTok? And she had no idea, and that's how they probably caught her. Yes, indeed. Let's see, hope they at least won the game, otherwise the fraud was not worth it, says B-Money. This is true. This indeed is true. Yes, indeed. So feed the birds for 1 month, but it's okay. They don't make it by the end of the week. Well, you never know. That's for the cats to decide. That's for the cats to decide out there. Sad news, people. Sad news out here. Unfortunately, it is, from good folks here, just the news. Boeing delivers its final 747 jumbo jet. Yes, indeed. Airplane manufacturer Boeing on Tuesday will deliver its final 747 jumbo jet and move on to the production of newer models. A cargo transporter Atlas Air will receive the final aircraft of the model, which has flown since 1969. Holy cow. The cargo carrier ordered 8 such planes in 2022. The delivery of the final plane will mark the 1,574th 747 jumbos. And they couldn't wait 200 more. They would have had 17. Well, no, it would be. Whatever. Anyways. The jet firm produced in Washington State. The first 747 flew service for Pan Am and ran the New York to London route. The model eventually became an aerial mainstay. But Boeing has since developed more modern designs with merely 2 engines as opposed to 4. Yes, indeed. You're cutting down on the engines out there. I'm sure that's really nice when you're flying over the northern Atlantic out there. You're like, don't worry, we got 2 instead of 4. It'll be good. It'll be all right, people. Yes, indeed. So there you go. There you are, people. Well, Bear's been delaying long and hard here. I tell you, people. You go away for just a little bit of time there, and all of a sudden, just all heck breaks loose. Up is down, left is right. Cats are fighting. Cats would be friends with dogs or something like that. I don't know. Bear was going somewhere with that, and he forgot where he was going. But anyways, so we've got sort of a Guy Ferrari cosplayer out here. That would be James Gunn. James Gunn in the Saffron. The Saffron out there reveal their slates for DC Studios, including a new Batman, an already now Superman film. Why? Oh, hey, Amy. Hey, great to see Amy out here. And hopefully Melissa as well. Well, speaking of which, I couldn't even get it out, and there jumps in Melissa there. Great to see both Lesters out here. Hopefully you guys have been doing great. Great to see both of them doing some good work there on the Drawn and Quartered. Very close, Melissa. Let's see, was it number 2? I think she was number 2 the last time. Looks pretty good. Looking pretty good with the animation out there. So great to see both of them. The new airplane model better have Alexa included in it, says P-Money. Yes, indeed. I hope so. Hopefully. Alright, anyways, enough of this gibbering and jabbering here. We gotta get to it, people. I'm sorry. And Bear knows. Bear does know. He's a little bit behind the ball here. Was out for a little bit with the hibernation. A little sick out there, so had to take some time. And finally, I tell you what, people, Bear is so excited. Got a new computer. He's enjoying that. So a little bit behind on some of this stuff here, but I tell you what, people, we're going to be talking about stuff that maybe some of your favorite YouTubers are not even considering out there. So let's get into it here. Let's see. Bounding into comics. Who are we doing here? John F. Trent. God, he looks like Guy Ferrari out there. DC Studios, James Gunn and the Saffron revealed their upcoming slate for DC, and it looks terrible. And it includes a brand new Batman, as well as the previously announced Superman. He looks so excited in announcing all this stuff. The slate was revealed in a lengthy expose by Boris Kitt and The Hollywood Reporter, alongside a video released by Gunn. In the Gunn, I was just thinking, we should have gun control here. Gun control. In the video, Gunn claims his vision, oh boy, for DC moving forward is to make sure that it's all connected, probably to his wallet. He explained, it's one of our jobs, mine and Peter's, to come in and make sure the DCU is connected in film, television, gaming, really, and animation. That the characters are consistent, played by the same actors, and works within one story. Gaming, man, they're doing 2 different... anyways, I don't want to get into it. Terrible, awful, says Jeff Potts. Thank you. Great to see Jeff here. Gunn continued. And if that's something outside of that, and I can't believe it, people, Bear got this one wrong. Oh my gosh. I mean, it was a coin flip. I mean, he could say, hey, Of course, the Batman's coming back. What a great movie. Blah blah. That is a terrible movie, and they're bringing it back. But they're also doing another Batman. We'll get into that in a minute. It sounded like a beer-headed in his thumbnail here. Where are we at here? The bold and the Bear-tiful out here. The bold and the Bear-tiful out here. It sounded like the bold and the beautiful out here. I was like, oh, what the heck? Sounds like a soap opera. Anywho, Bear is getting sidetracked here. He's sidetracking himself. Anyways, if it is something outside that of like Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker or Teen Titans Go, that is clearly labeled as DC Elseworlds. Outside the mainstream DCU. You need to write this down, people. We need to have flow charts. We need to have, where you put it up on the board, you have all the different strings. Okay, this is connected here, but this isn't connected here. The Batman's over here, but the other Batman's over here. Oh, we got a Superman here, and we might have another Superman here. Why? I don't know. Gunn went on to explain how DC's upcoming film releases, specifically with Shazam. Poor Zachary Levi out here. He's happy now until he gets that one call into the office. It's like, Zach, I'm sorry, your film was great, but you're just getting too old. You old geezer, get out of here. Get out of here. That's right. Oh, James Gunn. He loves the kids. Really, really, really loves the kids out there. He detailed, first we have Shazam! Exclamation point! Fury of the Gods. Shazam has always been off kind of in his own part of the DCU, so he connects very well? Huh? Okay, we'll go with that. That moves directly into the Flash. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Fantastic movie that James Gunn really, 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 really loves. He really loves it. And that resets the entire DC universe, although it doesn't reset it because they got, Aquaman and, what was her face? The African Queen lady. What was it? The Suicide Squad lady. Viola Davis. She's coming back. The Peacemaker's coming back. Certain parts of the Snyderverse are coming back, but not all of them. I guess. I don't know. Maybe. Kinda. I don't know. And then move into Blue Beetle. I'm sorry, people. Beer is not trying to be confrontational or anything like that, but I would probably guess that a majority of the movie making or movie watching people out there, outside of comics and everything, have no idea who Blue Beetle is or why they should go and see the movie. Especially if you're gonna say, hey, come to Blue Beetle, but we're gonna reset everything after this movie, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter at all out there. I tell you, people. I tell you. P-Money says, oh, thank goodness, it's been 5 minutes without a new Batman. Oh my god, no, Jeff, no. No, sir, I hope he is not. I hear James Gunn is going to release a new series of DC NFTs. I hope he is joking on that. Oh my god. Bear would fill up 3 shows with that. Nobody would watch, but Bear could fill up 3 shows with that. That's a beautiful dress Peter Safran has on. Bear, and now I'm very confused. No, it's actually James Gunn. No, actually it is, let me find it here. Hold on just 1 second, because we actually have, by the way, the Batman out there, the Batman. You kind of figure, okay, you get your mental picture of Batman in your mind there, and he's not always burly or anything like that, but you would say masculine. He's swinging through in the dark there, fighting crime and all that stuff. You probably wouldn't expect that Batman would be in a dress. That's just one thing that you just wouldn't expect. See Batman show up. I don't know which is worse, that he is wearing fur or that he's wearing a dress. Bear's quite confused on many levels. So no, it wasn't Peter Safran. What was it? Twilight Boy here. Robert Patterson. Robert Patterson in a dress for some reason. I don't know why. Fashion. We'll just call it fashion, people. It's fashionable out there, I suppose. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I was thinking about putting Ezra Miller maybe in the dress there. They would have went together. Might have matched. Might have matched. Ezra and James Gunn really love the kids, says P-Money. This is true. Thanks, Veer, for ruining the tiniest bit of hope I had for DC films. Well, hold on. Bear hasn't finished his thought here just yet. We're setting it up. We are setting it up. There is good news, hopefully. Not with DC or James Gunn or anything like that. That's completely hopeless. But other than that, I think we've got some stuff going on here. Whether or not these characters or actors continue on DCU's vision is still unclear. The Gunn told HDR, there's nothing that prohibits that from happening. Yes, you, sir, are preventing. Let's see, who was it here? Let's find him here. Hold on. Our good friend Henry Cavill. Wonder Woman. Why? But hey, we get Ezra Miller out of it. Hey, we got to get rid of Superman out there. But we get to keep. By the way, let me just let Bear kind of complete his thought. Batman is in a dress. They got rid of Henry Cavill, replacing him with let's just say a younger Superman out there, an inexperienced Superman out there, as it were. It kind of looks like they're really, kind of how would you say that? Demasculating a lot of stuff. Because you had Henry Cavill, he looked very healthy, looked very buff out there. I'm sure all the ladies love that out there and everything. So, you take that away, and then you give us, I don't know, a 12-year-old, a 15-year-old Superman or something like that. They're gonna redo Smallville or something like that. Kind of emasculating some of the stuff. Then you see old Batman show up in a freaking dress, and you're wondering, hey, you guys got rid of Ben Affleck, and he was doing pretty good as Batman. Then you got the Batman, and now the Batman is in the dress. So I don't know, kind of emasculating out there, at least according to Bear out here. That's true. Next, Gunn revealed the first chapters of his DCU vision called Gods and Monsters. And begun to reveal the slate, which he says is part of the first chapter. It's not even the first chapter. It's not even the. Thank you, James. Interestingly, the expose. It's not an expose. They got a press release from Warner Brothers, for crying out loud. From the Hollywood Reporter, Gunn and Safran. I still think that would make a good, a buddy cop drama. Gunn and Safran fighting crime. Also expanded their vision of DC with Gunn explaining whatever. By the way, just as a side note here, you're always noticing that it's always James Gunn that's talking. You never hear word one from the Safran fella out there. It's kind of interesting. I wonder if it's the Safran that's doing a lot of the stuff, kind of behind the scenes, and James Gunn is just kind of the front man. He's up there on Twitter or stuff like that. He's doing all the Twitter and all the all the front stuff out there, and the Safran is there, and behind the scenes, just kind of doing stuff out there. One would think. One of our strategies is to take our diamond characters, which are Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, and we use them to prop up other characters that people don't know. I would say that might be a little bit different. Bear might get a little bit of pushback on this, but what's going on here? I am reconnected. Okay, all right, there we go. Sorry about that, people. All right, let me just hold on 1 second. Do this. Test. Is it doing it? I hope it's doing it. I apologize, people. I apologize out there. Let's see. No, I'm good. Why is it circling here? Okay, it is back. I apologize, people. That's what happens. That's what happens when you Steal the Wi-Fi from the neighbors out there. Yes, indeed. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. No worries, Grant. Great to have you here. Good to see you. Amy says, Journalism 101, a press release, is not an expose. This is true. This is true. Let's see. Wow, a glittery kit out there. Yes, indeed. Any brown zip-up coat. Yes, indeed. That's a really hard combination for anyone to make work. Anyone to make. She's talking about, not only Batman, but the Batman. A very interesting combination out there. Do you pronounce this Dior? Dior? I forget the name. Anyways, he's like the face of Dior out there. So there you go. That was some sort of, I don't know, what was this? For the Dior show. Blah, 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 whatever. In Paris. I guess you can kind of fit in with a dress in Paris there. I probably get away with it in Paris there. Probably. More than likely. More than likely. Anyways, Bear was making a great point here. Making a great point before he was rudely interrupted here by Wi-Fi issues out here. I believe if you would go out to most moviegoers and would say, hey, who are the top 3 DC characters out there? I bet you most people would say Superman. I bet you most people would say Batman. Other than her releasing a film relatively recently, I wouldn't say Wonder Woman. I know it's part of the trifecta out there. Trifecta. the sort of trio out there of superheroes. Bear would say Batman, Superman, and the Joker. I bet you more people would know about the Joker, or might figure that Wonder Woman would be part of, another comic series or something like that. So I would probably say Batman, Superman, and the Joker, which is kind of interesting because you've got 2 Batmans now. You've got 2 Jokers possibly now, and who knows, possibly 2 Supermen out here. We'll get into that in just a minute there, but I think the key thing here is when he's talking about Diamond Properties, Batman, Superman. He says Wonder Woman, Bear says Joker. Either or, it doesn't really matter there very much. But they're going to prop up other characters that people don't know, and we'll get into that in just a minute here. But it sounds a lot like, I don't know, maybe DC came to James Gunn here and says, hey, we liked what you did with Guardians of the Galaxy out there. We want you to do that for us. We want you to bring back a whole bunch of characters that nobody's ever heard of and make them really, really, really popular out there. So I'm wondering if either A, he was just given free reign to do whatever the heck he wants with characters that nobody knows anything about. He had the Peacemaker character that wasn't really, he was Peacemaker in name only out there. A Pino, if you will. A Pino out there. So it sounds like either A, he's going to be doing whatever he wants to do with the characters, and they're not going to, make him, hold his feet to the fire, or he could possibly be doing maybe a J.J. Abrams out there, where he's going to take a lot of the characters that many people don't know about and are going to, hopefully, they hope, make them popular, and he's probably going to get some sort of, like a toy line or something like that along that realm out there. So that's probably where he might be making his money. Not necessarily making the movies, but maybe making the toys out of characters. DC Warner Brothers out there, they might not have, whoever, the Waller action figure out there or something like that all the kids want on Christmas. The Amanda Waller action figure out there. It might go into his pocket, so that's kind of a J.J. Abrams type thing there. So, anyways, Reacher Commandos. Probably the one that's probably closest to Guardians of the Galaxy. Just based on these characters getting grouped together, kind of a group of misfits coming together, and basically kind of the same thing that he was going on there. What is this going to be? A animated series. So they're doing a whole bunch of different stuff. They're doing animated stuff. They're doing video games. They're doing movies. They might actually do some comics at some point, who knows? So all sorts of stuff. So Creature Commandos was one. Creature Commandos was one. Waller. There we go. Waller. They're going to team up with Peacemaker. So again, they're not totally resetting the entire thing. They're still bringing in other people out there. So there we go. Let's see. We get to look forward to somebody who wrote the Watchmen TV series, which, oh wow, just great. Just a terrific show out there. So there she is. Get your Waller action figure out there in time for Christmas. That's neat. And then he goes on to Superman Legacy out here. He says, I'm in the middle. This is very interesting. I want to highlight this entire quote here. He says, I'm in the middle of it. We've had some reports in the past that he's basically writing the script here. So I'm assuming he's talking about he's in the middle of writing the script. The script isn't done just yet. He's having a great time doing it, subverting all sorts of expectations out here. And Superman will be released into theaters on July 11th of 2025. Bear thinks that is a very, very, very ambitious timeline. Usually, you get a green light and maybe you've got, a decent movie, especially a big budget movie, about 2 years. You want to have that basic 2-year kind of time frame, usually a little bit longer than that, 2.5, maybe 3 years. Trying to do it, they've already got the date for it. They don't even have a script out, which he was against when we were talking about it earlier. We got to get the story right first before we do anything. Well, he hasn't even got the story finished, and they've already said it. We don't even know who Superman is. We don't know who's directing. We don't know what time period it's taking place. We don't know a whole lot of stuff, and all of a sudden they're going to do it in a little over 2 years, 2.5 years. They really need to have this in the can by the end of 2024 there. So not a whole lot of time. Bear was going to put some money down. He might say that might be delayed there. Punted on whether he's going to direct the film. The Safran says he hopes he will. We're hoping that he will direct it. It's not an origin story, people. It focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing. Oh boy, that sounds like fun. Superman represents truth, justice, and he says it, people, the American way. I don't know about that. That might be changed in some of the rewrites out there. His kindness in a world that thinks kindness is old-fashioned. I don't know where that came from. Looks a little bit like Matthew Weldon art, just the face there. That is a big chin. That is a huge chin. Oh, that is like Jay Leno types 2. Maybe they should cast Jay Leno as Superman. That would be very interesting. At least just for the chin out here. I'm good to see Marco Ferrantini. Hopefully Jiminy Cricket isn't around to ban him once again. We will see. Stop using Timmy's and get some fiber out there in the woods. Bear's definitely trying. Bear's trying indeed. Are you saying DC fans have never heard of that famous 90s hero Bloodwind? I'm sorry, P. Money. I apologize. No, I'm not saying DC fans. I'm saying most movie-going fans out there probably haven't heard of a lot of the characters out there. Not at all. Bring back old characters nobody's ever heard of, says James Crosby, so we can race gender swap. By the way, speaking of which, you were right on it. They're making people. I don't know if you know this, but they're doing a reboot remake of Matlock. Andy Griffith, Matlock out there. You wouldn't believe this. You wouldn't believe this at all. Holy cow! But this is going to shock many of you. But they're gender swapping Matlock with a female. Yes, I believe it's Kathy Bates. Oh boy, what was that? Was the Stephen King one where she's like, trying to break James Caan's legs out there. What was the name of that movie? I forget. Anyways, Kathy Bates out there is gonna be Matlock. Oh boy, yay. Let's see. Marco Anthony says, we know you'll hate watch it anyways. No. Bear has finally cleared his schedule for the next couple years. Thank you, James Gunn. I don't have to watch any of these stinking movies. Bear doesn't have HBO Max out there, so there goes that. Don't have to worry about that. So there we go. Wait, DC Comics does comics. I know, it's strange. Really, really strange. Grant says, is it me or is that Superman look like he's having a gay time of its own? I'm sure he's very happy out there. I'm sure he's very happy out there. Amy makes a good point. At this point, writing a really good movie would be subverting expectations. Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Let's register that chin as a weapon. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back to it here. Timmy does not have HBO Max. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Otherwise he'd get right on into it here. Yeah, Superman. I think they're really demasculating Superman. I think that's probably one of the main reasons that they got rid of Henry Cavill. Bear is not believing the whole, let's start all over and all this other stuff. Again, a lot of people think that the Z-Man out there, the guy in charge of Warner Brothers out there, he's some sort of crypto conservative or something. No, come on. He's a business guy. He knows that the woke stuff is making him broke, so he's gonna try and hide some of the woke stuff out there, but not all of it. So, I don't think that's the case. I think, once again, James Gunn out there just really loves the kids out there. He really loves them. The Lanterns TV show, Bear's not going to see it or whatever, but it's going to be True Detective with Green Lanterns. Those two go together. Those two go together like peanut butter and jelly. Yes, indeed. If they discover a terrifying mystery that ties our larger story of the DCU, it seems like a number of these are like horror related, which would probably go in line. Safran out there did the Conjuring series. What was that? Conjuring, Annabelle, some of the other movies out there. So he did that. James Gunn, many years back, worked for a group called Trauma out there that did a lot of very low budget, very weird movies and horror movies out there. So probably right up their alley there. But is it right up our alley? Probably not. The Authority, I suppose. Paradise Lost. By the way, without a Wonder Woman here, gosh dang it, where's Gal Gadot? Come on. By the way, that gives Bear just another excuse here to show Gal Gadot here for some reason. Like, what's up with that? What is up with that? It's almost like Game of Thrones with Westeros, with all the inhabitants of Paradise Island. It makes sense. I thought Paradise Island was like one of those reality shows where, the dating couples all come together or something like that. There we go. I don't know about that one. All right. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Am I losing frames? No, I'm good. Thank goodness. All right. I can show Wonder Woman all day here, but we will move on. We will move on. Thank you, P-Money. Space Cops. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when the Landers come for you? Alright, anyways. The one that got Bear going here. The bold and the beautiful. The bold and the beautiful. The brave and the bold. You couldn't have made... I tell you what, you couldn't have made a worse title out here. It reminded Bear of... his favorite stories out there, the bold and the beautiful. By the way, I could actually, hold on, Bear has been waiting years to do this. I could finally do it. I was actually going to do this when we were doing what did Bear call this? Like the Comicsgate in Crisis or something? Had a whole series of videos where we were just talking about how silly some of the back and forth was with related to like soap operas and whatnot. So I finally get to show. Hold on, let me get to it. Where am I at here? Come on, Rick. Here we go. Let me do the thing with the thing here. We finally can show it. It's not gonna happen, Rick. finally. Oh, yeah, you guys can't hear it, can you? Says, what the hell's going on here? First you took Phoebe away from me. Then you took Stevie. Oh my god. That's not gonna happen, Rick. That's not gonna happen, James Gunn. Grrr. One of my favorite of all time. I never got to show this in the series there, because it just kept getting ridiculous and ridiculous. I just kept showing soap opera stuff there. I never got to the final finale with Rick being confronted. That's not gonna happen, Rick. That's not gonna happen. That's right. Gosh darn it. I don't care. I'm gonna do it one more time. It deserves it. What the hell's going on here? You already took Phoebe away. You already took Henry Cavill away from me. And now you're gonna take Gal Gadot? Well, that's not gonna happen, James Gunn. That's not gonna happen. One of my favorites. Of all time. Of all time, people. I tell you what. There we go. Alright, anyways. I got to fulfill that one. There we go. That's been a long time coming, people. I could just end the show right now. Just end the show right now and we'd be happy. Would be happy. Bravo. Brilliant performance, Bear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, indeed. Let's see. P-Money says, it's okay if you must show only Gal Gadot pictures. We understand. Yes, indeed. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much out there. I don't see how they're going to find a better Wonder Woman, says Amy Lester. Maybe Gina Carano. There we go. That would be a nice one. That'd be a good... there we go. Yeah. Again, James Gunn really loves the kids out there. Really loves the kids out there for some reason. I don't know why. Anywho, the bold and the beautiful, the brave and the bold. I tell you what, people, I don't know. The third film will see the introduction of DCU's Batman, which is separate from the Batman. So Batman is not the Batman. You got it, people? We're going to need a flowchart on a lot of this stuff here, because it's going to get confusing. Gunn notes the... keep wanting to say the bold, the beautiful. The brave and the bold is a story of Batman and his actual son. Did he adopt somebody? Damian Wayne. Not to be confused with Damon Wayans out there, that would be a very interesting movie out there if Damon Wayans was in this. Based on Grant Morris's great comic run, Damon Wayne out there is my favorite. Robin, he's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line. So this is the story of two of them. It sounds a lot like it's a Robin movie featuring Batman. This does not sound like a Batman. That's because it's the Batman out there in a dress. Let's see, he's a little assassin who Batman tries to get in line. Well, maybe he should send him to one of those prep schools or something like that. Looks like Batman is about to be beheaded out there. Apparently Robin works for ISIS, apparently. Who knew? Booster Gold? How many of you are just thrilled that there's a Booster Gold live-action TV series? Anybody? Raise your hands. Any hands? Any hands? Any hands? No. It does sound like a soap opera. That's where Bear just, his brain went straight to the bold and the beautiful out there. Yes, indeed. They're going to do a Supergirl? I thought they already had a Supergirl. Did they cancel the Supergirl thing from, what was that, the CW? I think it was wasn't it on CBS for a minute? And they went to CW. The actress in there was fine. I thought she did a good job. And didn't they have Ally McBeal in there? She was like her boss or something like that. I don't know. Saw the commercials. That's about it. Yay, we got a Supergirl. Swamp Thing might be interesting. You just gotta pay Aaron. You just gotta give Aaron a bunch of money and say, okay, there you go. There you go. What do you make of this slate of Gunn's vision for DC? I think they screwed up. And not in the way that everybody's talking about here. Let's just talk about the Batman here for just a second here, because... Okay, they got two Batmans. Why are you doing that? Number one, if you're gonna do the Batman, go ahead. Do Robert Patterson, Batman in a dress. That's fine. Go right ahead. Whatever. But why do you have two Batmans out there? It's kind of odd. They're trying to say, oh, well, one's in the Elseworlds and one's in the regular world, I suppose. But it doesn't really make any sense. If you're a normal moviegoer out there, and you're saying, okay, let's go see a movie, or let's rent something off of the Blockbuster or whatever out there. Let's go check out Batman. Well, which Batman do you want to see? Well, the Batman. Oh, so you want to see the Batman? No, I want to see the newest one. Oh, you mean the Robin film? No. It's got Batman in there. No, it's a Robin film featuring Batman. Oh, well, I want to see, Batman. Oh, well, you want to see the Batman? No, I won't want to see the Batman in a dress. I want to see the James Gunn one. Oh, well, that's the Bold and the Beautiful. Oh, well, I thought that was a soap opera out there. Oh, shut up, Rick. You don't know what you're talking about. So anyways, very, very confusing out there. They probably thought they were doing this on the sly. They thought, oh, you know what? This is great. We can have not one, but two Batmans. And they'll both make a bunch of money. And nobody will be confused at all. I think they kind of screwed up there. Same thing with Superman. Actually, let me do the Superman one here real quick. Because I looked it up earlier. And I only looked up Superman. If anybody out there wants to help Bear out here, he can use that. I'm trying to figure out when they came out, when the first Batman came out. I want to say it was in the 40s, like late 40s or something like that. Bear could be wrong. Might have been earlier than that, but he was looking up Superman. Just wanted to check out. Okay, all right, Superman. When was that made? So they went back and we found Joe Shuster out here, and of course Jerry Siegel. They're both created Superman out there. Check that out there. So Bear went back. He was like, okay, all right, let's see this. So, Jerome Jerry Siegel, he was born in 1914, people, over 100 years ago. And unfortunately, he passed away 1996 out there. Basically, same thing there with Mr. Schuster out here. Born 1914, over 100 years ago, and lived a lovely life there, passing away in 1992 out there. Yes, indeed. So, it's been a little minute. It's been a while. They created this way back in 1938. I'm trying to figure out when they came out with Batman. Let me check the chat here. Let me see. Never heard the plural form before. Two Batmans. There we go. Not Batman. No. Not Batman. The Batman. The Batman out there. Anyways, let's just call it Batman about the same time frame or something like that. So Bear was kind of looking at this, like, okay, June 1938, that's nearly 100 years ago that they created Superman out here. So it's like, okay, Warner Brothers, DC got bought out by a whole bunch of people, and now it's owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. They own the IP. They own the IP for Superman, Batman, yada yada out there. So there we go. There is that. So Bear went back and says, hey, you know what? They can't hold on to him forever. So let's go ahead and check out from our good friends here at the United States Patent and Trademark Office here. Some of the copyright basics, talking about creators and intellectual property out there. How long does a copyright last, people? And believe it or not, way back when in 1909, they had the Copyright Act. And it says copyright protection begins with first publication. Let me make this a little bit bigger. First publication of the works and lasts for a period of 28 years. And they can renew that for a period of 28 more years for a total term of protecting of 56 years. Now that was in 1909, the Copyright Act. So in 1976, Congress, in all of its wisdom, extended the renewal term to 47 years for a possible term of protection to 75 years. And in 1998, the glorious geniuses out there at Congress extended again by an additional 20 years Basically, that had to do with Mickey Mouse out there. Basically, Disney was the one that was behind all this. And actually, that is coming due here. Let's see, is it next year? I think it's either later this year or early next year. I know Steamboat Willie is already out of copyright, but I believe the actual Mickey Mouse type deal was, I think next year or the year after, something like that, for a possible term of protection of 95 years from publication out there. So basically that would mean 38, let's see, 2038, 2030, 2034, 2033, something like that would be when the Superman copyright would be going out. Now, Bear's solution to all this, okay? It was Congress that did the 1909 Copyright Act. It was Congress that did it in 1976, and again in 1998, Congress again did all that. So, instead of trying to petition people up there at DC or Marvel or any of these places, Warner Brothers, that, hey, why don't we make a better Superman? Why don't we make a better Batman? Why don't we do all this sort of stuff? And they never listen. They go to James Gunn, loves the kids, he's going to do his whole bunch of stuff out there. How about this? How about instead, we just get rid of the copyright extension and just go to 28 years? Bear would be magnanimous here. Bear would say, I would say, let's just do it for, how about 30 years after the death? After the death out there, so that would be Joe Shuster out here. He died in 1992. So we would have Superman out there in the public domain, or maybe possibly Batman, or any of the other places out there. Because going back here, we actually had James Gunn. He's talking about, where was he here? He was talking about, basically it was a passion, where was it here? A passion project of his that he wanted to do stuff. Well, I'm sure there's a number of people out there that have passion projects out there, including people that might want to do Superman here. So why not have, hey, let's have Disney's Superman. Let's have Warner Brothers Superman. Let's have Sony's Superman. Let's have Joe Schmo's Superman that he only made on $5 and an iPhone or something like that. And figure out who does the best Superman. Maybe James Gunn does the best Superman. We never know. But let's keep it out of the hands. Let's keep it out of the hands of corporations that are just going to hold on to it for years and years and years and years. He's doing the same thing with all these other Waller out here. Hey, if you guys want to do a Waller series, great, go right ahead. But let other people do it as well. Let's see if somebody else can come up with a better idea. In the cosmos out there of wonderful ideas, let's figure out, in the marketplace of ideas, let's figure out who's the best one out there and go from there, instead of just holding it up in the one location there and it never changes. We got, a different company that might own some of this stuff, but what was it, 100 and how many years? Hold on, let me find it here. 95 years from publication out there. So there we go. That was quite a long time to be able to hold on to that. Again, Bear says, hey, for a generation out there. So if you have an artist out there, they come up with a book, they come up with a comic book, they come up with a movie or whatever. They pass away. Well, it doesn't get yanked right away. The money will still go to, their children out there. They can still get their money out of that. And after a reasonable amount of time, let's just say 30 years, hey, it goes into the public domain. A lot of people out there say, hey, why are all the movies the same? Why do they keep rebooting all this stuff? Well, they're trying to keep the IP in a circulation out there, so they can keep extending it out. It's like, no, let's get rid of that. Let's forget about all of that, and let's go back to where we had it, many years back, where if you had, let's just say, I don't know, I know it's in copyright, but happy birthday. You could have, or let's just put it a different way. Let's say, you have, a Shakespeare play, a Romeo and Juliet out there. It would be kind of stinky if, it's only owned by Disney and nobody else could do Romeo and Juliet without paying Disney a bunch of money, or, Mozart or something like that. No, put it out in the public domain after a reasonable amount of time and go from there. I think, we've got a bunch of great artists out here do some great work with, hey, let's make our own Superman comic or something like that. I think that would work out. You would have plenty of ideas, and then, Warner Brothers or whoever would be able to pick the best story out there and say, hey, I want to do that one. And then they go and they make a whole boatload of money out there. So that would be Bear's interpretation out there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So did we ever find out when that? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know when Batman came out, but there we go. I'm sure it's somewhere close to there. Somewhere close to there. VM. Good to see VM here. I'm assuming here in Chile, the copyright is expired, but nobody wants to use Superman. Really, I wonder if they would get into like some legal trouble or something like that. I probably could make it there in Chile. You probably make it and sell it there in Chile, but like trying to go outside of the country, that might be an issue there. That might be why they might not do that. So, but there you go. There again, different countries out there have different copyright lengths out there. So I'd say, hey, cut it down. Instead of trying to petition all these corporations and stuff like that, Bear still says, hey, go to the stockholder meetings and get yourself a stock. I'm sure Warner Brothers stock is pretty cheap right now. Go and get it for $20 or something like that, and go to the meeting and say, hey, your James Gunn Superman's gonna kind of stink. Let's do something different. They don't listen to you. Well, hey, maybe go to Congress instead. I know that's probably a far out there idea for a lot of people out there, but Bear sees all the YouTubers or stuff like that. This stinks, blah 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 blah. Well, okay, let's do something about it. So, anyways, that would be Bear's thoughts on all that sort of stuff. Yes, indeed. Marco Ferranti says it'll be fine. It'll only be Adam West Batman. Batman. Clooney, a strange-looking rubber suit Batman. You forgot the nipples. Gritty Batman. Emo Batman. Neo Batman. Yes, indeed. But not the Batman. Not the Batman. So you can make a Superman series and publish it in Chile. I believe so. You might not be able to make it outside of the country there. Oh, Amy has a good idea. Maybe leave the copyrights longer so the family can live off the book written or whatever intellectual property up there. But the intellectual property becomes available to the people of transformative works. True, yes, there is a difference between IP and copyright out there. So Bear probably got those confused or switched up there. So thank you, Amy. That would be a very good correction out there. Let's see, what would be a good copyright length for Amy from a creator viewpoint? Ask Grant. There we go. Bat's credit card. Again, Bear will say this until the cows come home. What was that? Was it Batman and Robin? Was that the George Clooney one? Batman and Robin was a better film than the Batman out there. Bear will argue that all day long. And I'm not saying Batman and Robin was a great film out there, but still better than the Batman. At least you could see what was going on in Batman and Robin out there. Why am I leaving this on a picture of Waller out there? Not at all. I need to get off of that. We'll switch to, there we go. P-Money was asking about Wonder Woman. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Amy says, I feel like if I made my game, I should be able to sell it for as long as I live. Yes, indeed. But I feel like if I've been making millions of dollars for 50 years, maybe they can have my character pop up in their games. Again, it's how do you get that? How do you, like a remix of a song or something like that. You want to be able to have people come in and take a whatever, a movie, a song, a comic book, a book, and be able to say, okay, this is good, but let me put our own little spin on it. So the best way Bear can kind of describe it is like your Shakespeare plays out there. every single person probably has a different perspective or a way of doing, Romeo and Juliet or Macbeth or Othello or something like that out there. So um, have it for again, Bear kind of hey, let's do it for a generation, 30 years, and make it 40 if you want, sure. After the death, so if they wrote their book, they're still making a whole bunch of money until they die. They're still making money after it after they die, and it's going to the trust, the family, and whatever out there. They're doing all that sort of stuff, and then after a reasonable amount of time, versus 35 years, 30 years, something like that, put it into the public domain. I think keeping it stretching out and stretching out and stretching out, you're getting to the point where it's just, reboots of reboots, and that's why there's not like a whole lot of original thought out there, because everything's locked up, behind an IP somewhere, so nobody can make a crime fighting fellow that works in the dark in a large metropolitan area that's also a millionaire playboy, and he has a sidekick, a younger sidekick out there, and they say, oh well, that's just like Batman. You're like, no, it's whatever. Fredman or whatever the heck the name of it is out there. No, it's Fredman. No. See, it's got all the same thing as Batman. So we're suing you, and you can't make any money off of this. So that's where Bear kind of comes from. Yeah, like Winnie the Pooh out there. Winnie the Pooh, I think, is a little bit different because it's just the the book version of Winnie the Pooh out there. I think the Disney ones that had what was it, Tigger and some of the other, I think Tigger. Anyway, some of the other Disney specific ones, that's still in copyright. So that would be kind of a good example out there. You had an original idea, somebody made a transformative version of it, that gets a new copyright, so that person can kind of make money off of their transformative version for a little bit. But after a while, okay, that goes out of style. So even the transformative version gets a remix on top of that. So I think that would be a reasonable way of going about doing some of that stuff. Pardon me. Still got a little tickle in the throat for Bear here. Tickle in the throat out there. Let's see. Oh, too many stuff here. Let's see. Don't know, Bear. Only you can answer that one. Well, I would hope so. Let's see. Grant says, I don't know much about copyright and trademarks. By the way, it is, well, I don't have it on screen here, but what was this? This was the uspto.gov. So you can go check that out. Copyright basics. All that fun stuff. I believe it's down in the description there. I think I put that in the description. Hopefully. In the LINK-o-RAMA out there. Let's see. But he says, but I'd love to see things getting ruined by the big companies before becoming open sourced. You would? But I'd love to see the thing getting ruined by the big companies. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying you would love to see them getting ruined. No, again, if James Gunn out there wants to make a Superman film, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But let other people do it as well and see who does the best. If you're locked up behind everything, it's probably not going to be the best thing if you don't have any competition. Although they do have competition for some reason because they have two different versions of it. So that's kind of where Bear was kind of coming from. Was like, wait a minute, if you've got two different versions of it, why can't you have 3? Why can't you have 5? Why can't you have 10? Why can't you have 100, 1,000 different versions of it? Just let the people out there decide out there. Yes, Steve. Let me grab a drink. Let's see, Grant says, but if I made an IP with different characters, I'd hate to see them used to make a naughty version of the property, for example. Well, if, again, you wouldn't see it because you would be dead. You had been long gone before the IP would have transferred over to a public domain out there. So, number one, you wouldn't see it, and number two, that's... I was going to say that's life. That is basically the process out there. Again, I'm not rooting for that or anything like that. Oh boy, let's see a naughty version of Batman or a naughty version of Superman. No, not at all. But at the same time, Yes, you have the possibility of something being really bad out there, but you also have the possibility it might be pretty good. Might be pretty good out there. Make exceptions for the perversions of child-friendly material. Well, that's what we're talking about with James Gunn out here. Disney's does some rather interesting stuff with their own material, and then tries to memory hole it in their vault. Exactly. By the way, actually, I've got a. Hold on, just one second. I apologize, Gal Gadot. Many apologies out here. I actually got. Speaking of which, so okay, you spend your big money on whatever streaming service out there, right? So you want to see the movies out there. We did a story a little while back where they're actually changing the posters or the covers for some of the movies out there to take out smoking. I believe it was Warner Brothers that was doing that. So if you had a character in the movie poster that was smoking, they took that out. Made for some very interesting posters out there. Let's see. Warner Brothers also took out, if Bear remembers correctly, certain parts of the Looney Tunes catalog, and also, gosh, there was something else that they took out as well. I remember the Looney Tunes stuff. Here, Paramount. No, that's not CBS. CBS is CBS different? CBS. No, it is Paramount. It is okay. All right, yeah. Basically CBS out there. Paramount Plus becomes the latest streaming to remove titles. I know everybody's really just bummed about Real World Homecoming leaving, but that was the promise. That was the, hey, we've got all the titles. If you want to watch Real World Homecoming in your PJs at 3 in the morning, you can do that on our streaming service. Just pay us $10 a month and you can go check it out. Well, they're taking stuff off. So it's like, well, wait a minute. I thought we were getting this and then they're taking it away. I know some places, like they'll have movies that they'll premiere and then they'll remove them. So you don't actually get all of the movies out there. So you would actually see all that stuff. So they can either lock it in their vault or they can just totally disappear it as well. You wouldn't be able to go on and find what was that Song of the South there at Disney Plus or something like that. So yeah, again, they're basically hiding behind all that stuff. Where I don't know. Let's see. I would imagine Song of the South is 1930s. So again, you can have that. You can have that in the public domain rather than it being out there locked up behind lock and key. Lock and key out there. The Comics Bear is now a law show. That's right. I'm going to give what's his face, Ricada, a run for his money out there. Yes, indeed. I'll watch that every once in a while. He had on Kyle Rittenhouse the other day. That's kind of an he kept talking over Kyle Rittenhouse. It's like, just let the kid speak, I mean, he's trying to do his thing, and, the other guy just jumps in. It's like, shut up. Typical lawyer stuff. Terrible. No, shoot all the lawyers. Metaphorically speaking. Speaking of Shakespeare out there. All right, let me get off of this. Get back to our lovely Wonder Woman out here. Yes, indeed. There we are. Let's see. Amy says maybe make exceptions for the. Oh, I already read that. Grant says, "LOL. Ideally, I'd never know it existed." There you go. I apologize to everybody about their making their brains hurt with copyright law and everything out there. But you know what? It's something, everybody talks about, we don't want to have this director, we want to have Henry Cavill back, and blah, blah, blah. Well, hey, let's try and take a different tact at it. Maybe see if maybe it might work a little bit better out there. A little bit better. Speaking of Disney, let me get to this. Real quick here, because I actually got some news here from Disney. I don't know if many of you were around a while back when we were talking about the Star Wars hotel that they had. Basically, they took you from the airport. They threw you into a van with no windows out there. Pardon me. threw you into a van with no windows out there and took you to a hotel that had no windows and says, hey, give us $5,000 a night to stay in. It's all Star Wars stuff. So Disney chops prices at $5,000 a night Star Wars hotel panned by guests out there. Again, George Lucas is still alive, so I couldn't do that for George Lucas, but another great one out there. Star Wars. I just put that in the domain out there. I mean, Disney isn't making any good movies. That's for sure. That's for sure. Pardon me. There we are. The Force is definitely not with them. This is, let me see, New York Post and somebody at the New York Post. Disney slashed prices at its widely criticized, ultra expensive Star Wars, the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, where some rooms have been derided as a windowless bunker. Here's your windowless bunker. The poor fella, you do know that is a child's bed and not a real person's bed out there. Whatever. That's probably the best he can get. Billed as an immersive experience where guests can interact with Star Wars characters from the Star Wars franchise, the 100-room hotel requires guests, to book a minimum of 2 nights, priced at about $5,000 per couple. $5,000 per couple, and closer to $6,000 for a family of 4. Hey kids, we can go to the hotel, but we can't. We're not going to be able to eat for the month. Sorry. The cost for a, quote, tricked-out suite jumps to $20,000. Holy moly, those kids better be worth it. But early on, guests complained about the out-of-this-galaxy-priced room rates, food cost, and Star Wars-themed extras like a private portrait session with a photographer. Anger bubbled up from the hotel when the hotel opened last March over a promotional video which was eventually scrubbed from Twitter and YouTube. Fans slammed the lodging as subpar and too expensive. That's Disney for you. With some referring to the hotel as a windowless bunker in a suburban junior high school built in the 1970s. The lightsaber training looks about as exciting as a roadside sobriety test. One Disney watcher commented on YouTube, "It's way too expensive," said another. There you go. There you are in your windowless bunker. Oh boy, just like Luke Skywalker did. There you are. Well, it's not quite windowless. I mean, you get a TV screen there. I mean, that's probably the $10,000 room. You only pay $5,000 and you get the bunk bed for kids. But if you step it up to $10 or $20,000, you actually get the probably a queen size bed. It's probably not even a king. An emperor sized bed out there. Yes, indeed. So there you go. Looks lovely. And the price to stay also does not include alcohol. Oh my God! You gotta bring your own in. Which runs about there would be riots if beer went there. $13 for a beer. Is that for a glass? That better be for a pitcher. $11 and up for wine and $23 for specialty drinks. Those kids better be worth it. Or any fun Star Wars themes extras. For instance, it's cost $99. Minimum $99 to hire a photographer for a portrait. Just whip out your iPhone. If you want to sit at the head of the captain's table in the Starcruiser's Crown of Cornelia dining room, you need to cough up an extra $30, people. CNBC did rave about the interactive experience, saying the immersion takes on a new meaning. I suppose so. I suppose so. I guess that's supposed to be Ray and what's his face? God, I can't even remember the guy's name anymore. That's how much of an imprint the new Disney Star Wars has made. What was his name? Kylo Ren out there. There we go. Can remember it. As of Friday, only President's Day and 4th of July weekend are fully booked. So get out there, people. The rest of the calendar is wide open through August, which has the most sold-out days so far this year. By the way, Orlando in August might not be the best place to be. It's going to be a little hot, and it's going to be rainy. I can guarantee it's going to rain at about, I don't know, about 3:30 or so. On the dot out there. On the dot. Yes, indeed. There is. Are these guests or are these actors out there? I don't know. The one lady there at the end of the staircase there, not too bad looking there. Not too bad. Although the one lady there's got a mask on, so go figure with that. I don't know what the heck's going on here. For crying out loud. In order to entice guests, the Mouse House is now offering up to $700 on a 2-night stay. Wow, what a discount. According to the company's website. Last November, Disney announced that discounts up to 30% were being made to Disney Vacation Club members. But now non-Vacation Club members can access the discount. It sucks to be you to be a Disney Vacation Club member then. And the biggest discount, $350 per night, is for packaging a Starcruiser stay with additional nights at Disney World's Beach Club. That's not a bad one. I think that's the one where the kid got ate by an alligator, though. So you might want to stay away from that one. Or was that the Yacht Club? That might have been the Yacht Club. I forget. Anyways, unfortunately, it was either a young kid or a young lady out there that got eat by a gator. The Grand Floridian. Nice. That's a nice one. Pretty nice one. Although expensive. Holy cow. I forget if that's the one that has the monorail going to it. A number of them have the monorail going to it, and some of them don't. So there you go. And the offer is valid for stays between February 5th and September 30th, although there are some blackout dates. So get right to it, people. Get right to it out there. Yes, indeed. Here we go. There's a Chewbacca, and I don't know what the guy in the blue is. I'm sure that's a new one out there. Again, I don't know if these are guests. Are these guests or are these actors? I don't know. Kind of weird out here. All right, let's see what the chat has to say. $13 for beer, exclaims Marco for Anthony. Yeah, that's a lot. Anything over $50 a night is too much. Actually, $50 a night is too much. Where are you staying, Grant? Holiday Inn. All the way in Lakeland or something like that. He's got to get an Uber to go to Disney World out there. You can take a trip to Japan and stay in a capsule hotel there for much less, says Amy. That's probably true. There are some very interesting themed hotels there in Japan. I'm sure the Rebellion has fancy rooms like that. That might be. That room is depressing to look at. Let me go back to the depressing looking room here. That is. The guy just, oh man, he's not selling that at all. Not selling that at all. And they should make the Rebel Alliance look like the Underground from Demolition Man. Yeah, but you wouldn't get $5,000 a night out there. Not at all. Oh, good to see Miguel. Haven't seen Miguel in quite a while. If you said hello before, I'm sorry, I missed it. Let's see. A way to go a Star Wars hotel. Why go to a Star Wars hotel and spend a pail of money when Bear can come to Costa Rica and see some beautiful senoritas similar to Yolea come to Esperanza and Los Santos or Herrera. There we go. Lots of single girl. Bear might have to take you up on that, Miguel. He might have to go on another plenty of people would be missing Bear as they were earlier, but that doesn't sound like a bad idea at all. Not at all. Let's see, Amy says, yeah, Bear has to roll in the room AC for the cave in August. Yes, indeed. Holy cow, it is quite, I mean, I hate to tell it to some people out there that are freezing their butts off, but it was like, it was in the lower to mid 70s just the other day here. Beautiful weather out here. Not today. It got a little chilly today, but not bad. Go to Orlando in February and you'll be all right. Go to Orlando in the middle of August. No, sir. No, you might as well go to the one in California, or even, God forbid, the one in Paris. I don't know if they still have that one or not. I think the one in Shanghai has been turned into a Wu flu camp out there, so can't go to that one. Can't go to that one. Those Wookiee costumes, yes, indeed. So is the room $700 or is the room of $4,300? I think it's $4,300. Let me check. Hold on. Let's check on that before you make your reservations. In order to entice guests, the Mouse House is now offering up. You see, they're missing a couple words here, I believe. Now offering up to $700 off. I'm assuming on a 2-night stay. Because they previously announced 30% there. The biggest discount, $350 per night. $350 per night is fetching. But it's for I'm assuming. Well, I don't know. This is worded very oddly, So I don't know. I'm assuming up to $700 off. So I bet you're right. I bet you it's still $4,300 to go hang out with this lady, doing her thing. I'm wondering if that is the, what do they call that? The Starcruiser lounge or whatever. We go meet the captain. Where he says, it's all a trap. Yes, indeed. Why does it do that? Stick a New York Post in your bad graphics here. There we go. Now we can see it. This webpage is using significant energy. God forbid. Oh my goodness. Is it? Is it really? It might be. Oh my goodness, people. Can Bear gush for a minute on his new laptop for just a second here? I apologize, I'm bouncing around here for just a second. Speaking of battery life, holy cow, Bear was, I hope many of you were able to check out some of the videos that Bear just put up. Bear was working on that, wanted to have kind of a baseline. Okay, where is, how much time is it going to take to do, very intensive HDR stuff? Bear did I think a 3-minute, you'll see it tomorrow, a 3-minute kind of a time-lapse video on the old computer here. It took over an hour. I think it took just over an hour to make a 3-minute video. Bear was making the 10 and 15-minute videos with like 8 minutes on the new computer. That was great. That's what Bear was getting it for. But I tell you what, people, I was doing it the whole time with the computer on Bear's lap. Number one, it didn't get hot at all. Number two, Bear was doing it for like 3 hours and it went down to like 80%, 79% or something like that on the battery. Bear went and checked. He was like, okay, how much time? There was like 8 hours left on the battery. You could work the entire... I'm not talking about surfing the web or anything like that. I'm talking about like legit Final Cut, doing a bunch of video processing and all that stuff. I had enough for an entire day. The computer that Bear is coming from, I could probably get maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, rendering and all that stuff, and it would be, molten lava hot. I tell you what, crazy. I don't know what sort of, like, miniature hamsters that they got in there running the wheels, but, holy cow. Tim Apple, you did a good job out there. You done good. Yes, indeed. Bear's gonna do a whole review on it, but, I tell you what, pretty good out there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh my goodness. Jiminy Cricket is here. Watch out, people, especially Marco Ferrante. Let's see. Let me get out of this. Let me get out of this here. Go back to our lovely photo out here. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Jimmy says, I stopped going to Disney over a decade ago, and he only lives 3 hours away. They don't deserve my money, and certainly not as much as they're charging. That's true. They didn't even deserve it a decade ago. Holy cow. Let's see. Bear went. Oh, it's been a while. It's been quite a minute out there. Quite a minute. You better go quickly before they get rid of Splash Mountain. They're going to get rid of Splash Mountain, and in its place it's going to be some sort of bayou thing. So that's going to be interesting when you go off the top of the bayou and kind of slide down the little thing. It's like, wait a minute, how many mountains are in the bayou? Whatever out there. So get to it before that one closes. Let's see. Mark says, yeah, let's get all our yacht club reservations readied out there. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Amy asks, ooh, what's a good laptop right now? Bear spent plenty of money on this one, so he would not recommend, unless you're just doing crazy video editing or if you're doing like 3D rendering or processing or something like that, yeah, it would be worth it for that. But just speaking with Max, that's what Bear deals with here. Probably an Air. You can probably get probably an M1 Air for a pretty decent price out there, and it would probably do 90 to 95% of what you're gonna want to do with it out there. It'd probably be probably pretty good one. There's a YouTube out there, the Max Tech, M-A-X, Max Tech, M-A-X Tech out there. He was doing a video last night, or maybe the day before. He was comparing the very top of the line Windows laptop out there. I mean, i9, I forget which NVIDIA TI graphics card that they had in there, but pretty top of the line stuff. And they were pretty neck and neck as far as some of the issues, Photoshop and some of the stuff. This is the M2 that Bear has here. The M2 Pro. They were pretty neck and neck. But the funny thing was, the entire time the PC version was plugged into the wall, and the Mac version was just completely unplugged and running through the battery. They were neck and neck when it was plugged in, but when as soon as he unplugged it, the PC version out there, like it just died. I mean, some of the stuff that it was rendering within, a couple minutes took like 10 or 15 minutes. The battery just went to crap and everything. This thing is just, it's amazing as far as just the battery. Bear was not expecting that at all. So, very, very cool stuff out there. So, very much impressed with it. The computer that Bear has here, it's 5 years old. I mean, it still does great stuff. It was just the HDR stuff that was getting to Bear, the H.265 stuff. It was taking really long time to render. Like he said, 3 minutes HDR video, H.265 took about an hour on this computer. I haven't done it. I was trying to do the comparison same for same, but a 10 or 15 minute HDR video, the ones that you saw with the box openings, that took like half of the time. So if it was a 15-minute long, 16-minute long video, it was like 8-minute rendering. So on battery, without any of the fans popping on or anything, crazy, amazing out there. But for most normal people, just web work, Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, that sort of stuff. Get an Air, I can't really tell you any PC-based stuff because Bear hasn't used PC in quite a while, but yeah, probably a M1 Air out there. Maybe even get a refurbished one so you can get it a little bit cheaper. It still has the warranty and everything, so just make sure you get a good amount of hard disk space. And the M series likes the memory, so if you can afford it, get a good memory situation there. Unfortunately, you can't upgrade it, so whatever you get. So yeah. There you go. That would be Bear's suggestion, like a M1 MacBook Air. Unless you just like the new design or something like that, get the M2. But they did something a little kind of chintzy with the M2 versions of it. If you get the base version, it was actually slower. The read and write speeds on the hard drive was actually slower than the M1 version because they used 2 chips in the M1 and they only used 1 in the M2. So you need to upgrade it. I forget what the base was. So if it was 256, upgrade it to half a terabyte or something like that, and it'll run the same. But for some reason they decided to go a little cheaper on that one. So just be aware of that. Be aware of that out there. So anyways, there we go. I'll type it here in the chat. Here it is. Max Tech. Here we go. Max Tech is the YouTube channel out there. Go check that out. He does great reviews and all that sort of stuff. And they're comparing the M1 Pro and the M2 Pro, and it's like, it's just a little bit better. Coming from the Intel, holy moly! Bear's running OBS right now in some web application, and it's running pretty warm. Pretty warm out here. So what an improvement. Bear's going to do a whole review on that. But yeah, if you got older computer out there and you're upgrading to the newer stuff, you are going to be quite amazed out here. Quite amazed. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing the chat out here. Let me go back here. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Let's see. I'm scrolling through this. Let's see. Disney Talk. I'm not scared, says Margaret. You should be. You should be. That's what I have DreamWorks for now. Let's see. He says he saw Puss in Boots 2. How was that? On a whim, and dang, I totally underestimated it. Media centers or gaming laptops. Totally underestimated. I'm assuming in a good way. I hope that was pretty good. Antonio Banderas out there. Always great to. I probably catch it maybe on after it gets out of theaters or something like that. But yeah, that looked like an interesting one out there. Media centers or gaming laptops. There's no real great games on the Mac, so it's not. I mean, it'll work. Let's see. There was the Resident Evil game that they had out there, so they had that one. There's a couple other ones out there, but it's not really. You're not really gaming on a Mac laptop. That's what Bear's got the PlayStation for. So there you go. Amy says, wait, the new Puss in Boots movie was actually good? And Marco Florent, he actually liked it. There we go. It's been good, getting really good reviews. Very cool. Suck it, PC, says Jiminy out there. Yes, indeed. Let me make an addendum to that. If you're into the art stuff, Bear would probably say get one of the either M1 or M2 iPad Pros out there, and get the little stylus with it. You'll probably enjoy that a whole lot more than like a laptop, unless you just need certain specific things for that the Mac OS doesn't do or something like that. So probably pretty comparable once you get like your stylus and the keyboard with it with an iPad there. It might be pretty comparable with an Air out there, MacBook Air out there. It just kind of depends on what you like better. Do you like to be able to touch the screen, or do you like to be able to type on the keyboard? So, yeah, there you go. That would be the only addendum to any of that sort of stuff out there. Marco For Anthony says, surprisingly heavy themes in a movie called Puss in Boots. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting out there. Sorry, people. Oh, you're welcome, Amy. She is kind of thinking about another laptop. Well, if you can wait, maybe a couple months or something like that, there might be some discounts. Some of the stuff out there, the M2 Pro just came out. This is January. Nobody was even expecting it. So that came out. I would not get the M2 Max. I wouldn't get that unless you're just doing some sort of crazy sort of 3D rendering and you really are getting your money out of it that way. I would say stay away from the Max unless you really need it. The Pro, you're doing great with it. Just fantastic screen. The battery life is amazing. You get all the plugs in it, so it's all good. I'm looking at it right now. It's just like, oh, hadn't quite got over from the old computer here just yet. So there we go. Jeff Potts, Jiminy Cricket. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, where was Beer? Oh, I forgot to mention. I don't know if we'll throw this in at the last minute. Happened right when Bear left. What the heck? No, not that. Here we go. Oh, that's funny. There we go. The Rick and Morty thing. Some fella there was doing some bad. This guy he gets fired. The Rick and Morty fella gets fired because of some domestic abuse charges. He hadn't even been to court yet. Just somebody charged him with some domestic abuse. Hey, we gotta get rid of old Rick or old Morty or whatever the hell his name is. Justin Rowland out there, Justin Rowland. We gotta get rid of him. But let's keep Ezra Miller, who has been convicted of, he didn't get convicted of domestic abuse. That got swept under the rug, but what was it? Trespassing and he was stealing liquor or some BS like that on his illegal pot farm up there in Vermont with all the alleged automatic weapons that he has there. Allegedly up there. So, anyways, there was that. Didn't really have much to talk about. I don't even watch the Rick and Morty show, so it doesn't really matter to me. But there you are. I just thought that was kind of interesting, kind of the dichotomy between the two there. We get an Ezra Miller, but we get rid of a Gal Gadot. Where? Hold on. Where is my? Hold on. I gotta get it back here. Where's Rick? Come on, Rick. Where are we at? I gotta do this. Waited so long for this. Gotta do it one more time. One more time. Let's see. Hold on. Pause. Here we go. Got pause here. We gotta find out. What the hell is going on here. What the hell is going on here? James Gunn? First you took Henry Cavill from me. And now you're taking Gal Gadot? That's not gonna happen, James Gunn. That's not gonna happen. Grrr. One of these days, Bear's just not even gonna do a show. He's just gonna replay that over and over and over again. For an hour. There we go. It's not gonna happen, James Gunn. Not gonna happen. Gosh darn it. Alright. Well, let's leave it. Let's leave it on a high note here. Dang it, Rick. Let's leave it on a high note here. Alright, well, anyways, people, great to be back. Had to take a little bit of time off here to get some stuff situated here. Hope everybody enjoyed some of the videos in the meantime there. Hope everybody worked quite hard on it too, on the new laptop out there. So look forward to maybe some reviews. If you are interested in some of the laptops out here, it might be a little bit out of people's, it might be a little too much for some people out there, but we'll be doing a kind of a comparison between the older Intel MacBook Pros and the new one out here. So look forward to that. We've got a time-lapse, a little sunset video for you guys tomorrow, so hopefully that'll tickle your fancy out there. If not, we're going to be back here on Wednesday. Yes, indeed. That would be next Wednesday here for another fun-filled episode out there. Yes, indeed. All right, people. Well, you know what? All of this talk about Rick and not happening has made Bear hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.